You are now listening to the Full Sport Press podcast, featuring hosts Jay Hove, Jeff, and Wheezy. Please enjoy the show.
Greetings and salutations. I would like to welcome everybody to the Full Sport Press podcast, the premier sports podcast for the consummate sports fan. This is your one-stop shop for all sports-related news and topics. I'm Jay Hove.
It's your boy Big Jeff.
Weezy in the building. Say what's up, Weezy.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Man, good, man. Doing real good, man. How's everybody?
Missing my mic again, man.
It's probably you.
You missed my mic.
Nah, man. I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke. I don't want to smoke, man. For sure.
Have a good start to the show this week, fellas.
For sure, most definitely.
No smoke.
Yeah. Some people back
Yeah.
for another show. Some people for the first time, man. It's the Full Sport Press podcast. We kick off things. Let's go with our best of the week, man. Nah, Weezy, my bad.
Second week in a row, right?
My bad. Hey, Weezy, what we got up on the show today?
Oh my goodness. Today's show we're gonna discuss the most unloyal moves in sports history.
Most definitely.
FSP style.
Always. FSP style.
Most definitely is always FSP style. We'll start with our best of the week, fellas. Who wants to go first? The best of the week.
Let me go.
Have at it, sir.
Yes, sir.
Best of the week for me is Jabari Parker, man, coming out, standing behind Derrick Rose. Man.
Most definitely.
That's big time.
That was big time.
Because I was done with Jabari Parker. I think he finished anyway.
Nah.
And that was that helped him out a little bit in my book.
You think so?
Yeah, I was done with him. I think he's done.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'd be great for us at the 3. I'm excited to have him, and I like the way he stepped in. Derrick Rose is an icon in Chicago.
Absolutely.
So, for what he did, even if it was for a short period of time, it was somebody that everybody could look up to, especially coming from that city.
Absolutely.
Most definitely, man. My best of the week, man. My quarterback.
Your quarterback.
My quarterback is on a date with
Your
arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, man. Porn star Kyrie Irving. Now, Kyrie's 41 years old and recently retired from porn. Jimmy G was out with her on a special dinner. She put on her Instagram special dinner. She said she was getting ready, for the dessert.
All right, let's move on, Jack.
Yeah,
let's just move on, Jack.
That's what she said, man. Shout out to Kyrie, man. A very special fellas, ladies, that partake.
Yeah.
Go check out Kyrie. He has a lot of
I gotta check out.
I definitely checked it out.
Yeah. You want to talk about it at halftime or in the first half? Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Man, my best of the week, man. Money anniversary.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, started show 179 last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had 229 this year.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it up, man.
Yeah, Jeff here, man.
They gotta let me come to the door.
Yeah.
They ain't kick me out yet.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be doing something right.
You doing something right.
I've seen people get kicked out, man. I've seen some people get kicked out.
Six people not last. Six not last.
Stupid, man. That's how we want to do, too. Let's circle back to you. What's your worst of the week, Jeff?
Never mind, man. Oh, man, worst of the week is weather changing. Had to stock back up on the sinus meds.
Most definitely.
I got a worst of the week, but it's definitely gonna be in my another worst of the week. But it's gonna be in my 10 good wrestling segment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Faith Evans, man.
I knew somebody was gonna do this.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
See, she was exposing some secrets in the bedroom with her and Big. She was on the Drink Champs podcast with Nori.
Yeah.
And she stated that her and Big exchanged bagging each other's groceries. And you gotta let the great veteran live in. Let him rest in peace.
Pillow talking like that.
Man,
Come on.
the way she said it was like,
matter of fact.
yeah, it's just,
Yeah, man, it was tough.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Big.
Yeah, shout out to Big, man. Rest in peace, Big.
When she feel with you.
Yeah.
Drake said that.
Most definitely. What's your worst of the week, Weezy?
My worst of the week, man, is this was rough too.
Oh shit.
Nah, it wasn't rough like
Okay.
that, but it was hard to watch.
Okay.
Juju Smith's his SB
Yeah.
attire. Y'all watch
Okay.
it?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in the
that.
first half. Yeah, for sure.
That was.
Yeah, it was rough. Yeah, it was some rough attire.
I don't even know how he sat down. I like.
Your boy Odell Beckham was dressed kind of weird too.
As
I
always.
don't know about that.
As always.
But
As
he-
always.
He good enough to dress good. Juju Smith ain't that good.
Juju Smith's good.
Juju might break out this year.
Yeah, for sure. They got rid of Martavis Bryant.
Oh, he helped me. Juju Smith helped me.
But how do you help
Two
you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Juju Smith can't do it. 26-yard touchdown.
You're so hyped.
Juju Smith, 26-yard touchdown.
Out of nowhere,
Yeah,
man. Make sure you check us out on iTunes, Facebook, Instagram, Google Play, Stitcher, Beyond Pod, YouTube, and of course the SoundCloud page to catch up on the full archive of past episodes of FSP. Simply search Full Sport Press Podcast. And after you do that, check out the On Deck TV Hip Hop Podcast with Animal Brown and Spike Lee each and every Wednesday. This week's show is the best and worst hip hop challenges episode. Had a chance to check it out.
Yeah, for sure. We will let Weezy take care of this because you are the dancer of the Full Sport Press Podcast. What's your favorite challenge that you've seen?
Favorite challenge.
Did you do the new? It's a bunch of new freezer. It's
I don't know. Check that
you
out.
know what the new freezer?
I did the
yeah.
What's that?
Whip Nene?
Yeah, I did that.
You whipped the name?
You whipped the Nene?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
And you do it too.
Then you're damn lie. You never seen me do that. See,
I said that. I'm a boy now.
not even dance. But I'm gonna tell you, Weezy has a strong Millie Rock. You a Millie Rock?
Yeah. I can see him. Millie Rock being top tier.
Man.
It's a top tier Millie Rock.
Top tier Millie Rock.
Shout out to the Millie Rock.
Yeah, most definitely.
You don't do a dance? You ain't got no favorite?
No, I'm not dancing.
No, I'm just saying, do you have a favorite?
A favorite dance?
Yeah.
I like the
You bankhead bounce.
the mannequin challenge.
AB is the bankhead bounce king. I'm telling you, dog.
Hey,
I'm telling you, AB, listen. It's bankhead bounce legendary.
Really?
Oh my God.
The one arm too?
Nah, this is all here.
Okay.
It's all
Bankhead
shoulders.
bounce.
Yeah, for sure. I got that hit him with the shoulders, though.
Hit him with the shoulders. You got a good butterfly too. I see that.
Man.
Oh, that's all?
Yeah.
He's got a good butterfly.
Let me see it.
Hey, I'm gonna talk to Coach P. You know what Coach P got done?
Coach, we got.
Coach P got a good gangster walk.
I got a good gangster.
Coach P got a good gangster walk.
For sure. The Ladies Room Podcast, man. Check out Rizzo and Emma Reed to find out what the ladies are really talking about in the Ladies Room. You can catch up on past episodes and follow Ladies Room Podcast on IG and Facebook. One time for Coach Locke.
Shout out to the ladies.
Shout out to the ladies, most definitely, man. Fresh for Dummies, me and my dog Animal Brown, is a self-help fashion podcast directly related to improving everyday fashion. You can catch our latest issue, History of Music merch is up right now. New one coming next week, directly for the culture. Follow our IG page at Fresh for Dummies and simply search Fresh for Dummies on all of your social media and YouTube. Speaking of YouTube channel, COD Live. We have hell episodes up right now. Easy to find, youtube.com/Fresh for Dummies.
And you can read up on your favorite FSP co-host. Purchase your FSP merchandise.
Nah, hell nah, Jeff. You gotta bring back the
No,
man.
No.
Shout out, I was talking to D Black. Shout out to D Black. I know you listening. He said, "Man, hey, tell Jeff don't stop doing the cough, man. The cough is, hey, man. So let's bring it back. Let's bring it back."
You can read up on your favorite FSP co-host.
That wasn't the OG call. That wasn't the OG for real.
Oh, man. Purchase your FSP merchandise.
Yeah.
Catch up on past episodes from the shows we just mentioned and much, much more. How you do that, you ask Weezy? Just simply search www.realvillemedia.com. Tell a friend to support the real.
RMG, most definitely, man. We got them cups, man.
Cups,
Hey,
man.
man.
Cup
Cups.
pop.
Listen,
That's
chill
my
them
cup, man.
My bad. I don't have a cup, bro.
Yeah.
It's all good. We need that one. That's for the
That's
camera.
for the people.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, other way, my brother.
We tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
I got it.
Most definitely.
Yeah. I got double cup me.
Yeah.
Double cup.
Anyway, holler at us if you want a cup, man.
Cups and wristbands, man.
Most definitely, man. Jeff, you got 10 good wrestling seconds.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Now, I was going to take these 10 good wrestling seconds to talk about one of my favorite moments in wrestling history when CM Punk did his infamous Paul's Pipe Bomb promo on live TV. Some thought it was real, some thought it was fake. Either way it go, it was dope. But can't do it. Hulk Hogan was reinstated back into the WWE Hall of Fame this week. And you wonder why Hulk Hogan was one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Everybody loves the Hulkster, right?
Sure.
Once the music hits, everybody loses their mind. Well, if you remember back like 3 years ago, a tape surfaced when Hulk was recorded smashing his then best friend's wife,
Right.
and was recorded dropping the N-word, amongst other things, after the act was over, saying that he considers himself a racist and doesn't see why his daughter is dating those N-words.
Wow.
Right.
I heard me.
That's the Hulkster, though.
That's the Hulkster.
Yeah, that's the real American right there. Yeah, all that, Weezy.
Yeah,
all that. So apparently the WWE felt that 3 years was enough time for Hulk to be away from the company and welcomed him back into the Hall of Fame. He actually gave a speech to the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the wrestlers that were in the locker room tweeted things like, "Yeah, that wasn't good enough." He didn't own up to anything he said. He just said, "If I knew the camera was rolling, I wouldn't say it."
Right. Which, at least you're keeping it real.
Yeah, but
that's how I like my racing.
Yeah, just right there.
Just keep it real.
Just keep it real.
Just let me know how you
just let me know how you rock, and I'll deal with you accordingly.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, the Hulkster, man.
Shout out to the Hulkster, man.
Shout out to the Hulkster.
Yeah, man. Most definitely. I'm hot of him.
Yeah.
Still. It ruined my childhood.
Can't he hear real American no more?
Hell no, it ain't the same.
Nah.
Hell no, man.
Tune
the rest of question of the week, fellas.
Uh-oh.
It is the Wilderness Edition. $2.6 million on the line. First things first.
2.6.
2.6, yeah, for sure.
Oh,
You take a bite from a venomous snake. Number 2, live in a house for a year in the middle of the jungle in Australia, surrounded by wild animals. Number 3, swim across an alligator-infested lake for approximately 100 meters. And last but not least, jump into a shark tank and dive to the bottom and get to the top. What are we doing?
Well, 2 out of 3 of them, you're going to die. You're going to really die. You can't get in there with them gators.
2.6 million now. Right there.
Ain't no. You ain't going to make it with them gators. They going to kill you. The sharks going to eat you alive.
Shark Tank. I said Shark Tank. It's Shark Week this week.
It is.
Shout out to it.
Next week,
Shout out to Shark Week. I like Shark Week. And a bit of mistake. That's the best chance you got. Or you can live in
I'm gonna live in the house.
You living in the house?
I don't gotta
Australia.
You gotta come out house. You gotta come out the house though.
I mean, but
you know Australia's home to the 5 most deadly animals in the world, right?
That's crazy. You said that in pre-production. That was on there. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what the most deadly animal in the world is?
Talk to me, please.
It's a box jellyfish. Kill you in 15 seconds.
There you go. Right.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a good jellyfish.
Hell no.
Jellyfish fuck you up.
15 seconds. If I had to pick one though, I would take a bite from the venomous snake because you would have a chance to live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The mama bite you, your ass is done, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
I can get there in 15, man. I get there in 15.
Mama bite you.
Mama bite you is over with.
We'll talk about them Kobe fans. What they doing in LA?
Yeah, they're being disrespectful. We're gonna let it go.
Okay, all right.
That's what you doing, Jeff? You sitting in the house. Cameraman, where you at with it? Nope. All right. Where you at with it?
I'm gonna take my chance with the sharks. Man.
You going with the shark?
Just gonna
dive in.
Yeah, because you know what?
Get to the bottom.
I'm tell you if you ever get attacked by a shark,
yeah,
give us more knowledge.
Get attacked by a shark. If you keep your composure,
yeah.
If you touch the shark's nose, that's the most sensitive part of the shark. They'll kind of ease up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you.
Here we go.
Okay. Shout out to the person who had to research that.
Yeah, most definitely. Keep them coming, man, at fullsportpress@gmail.com. Appreciate you for sending that one in. Won't divulge the person that definitely sent that in, but it's definitely Wilderness Edition. I like it. Now, tweet us with questions throughout the week at Full Sport Press. Don't forget to give us a comment on that. Don't forget to comment and give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the YouTube page. On the iTunes page, please rate and subscribe. But more importantly, don't forget to tell a friend.
To tell the shark friends.
To tell the friends that like to be in the wilderness. Camping, Frizzy. Anybody at the table, has a room been camping before?
No.
You been camping?
Way back in the day.
Yeah.
First camp, but I ain't been.
Yeah. I've never camped. That's a south side thing. We don't camp outside.
Would you go on a camping trip? Would you go to a ranch?
I love the city.
Would you go to a ranch?
I'm a city kid.
Yeah. You ain't going to the
ranch. Hell no. Where the
money
money at? You know what I'm saying? What's that? The
That's
revolution.
A question.
Yeah, for sure. The revolution will be podcasting. And before we get started the first half, we just got a poll question for the listeners.
Yes, sir.
Let the people hear.
This week's poll question is, which is the best landing spot for Carmelo and Anthony? Miami Heat, Los Angeles Lakers, Houston Rockets, I hope not, or Milwaukee Bucks.
Okay, sleeper team right there, Milwaukee Bucks. If I was Melo, I would go play with Chris Paul because he is going to have him looking like the Melo of old. Hoodie Melo will be back, and I'm telling you, as soon as he get there, it's just a difference playing. Watch, I'm telling you. Now, but the best chance for him to play at a high level and probably get a lot of shots is Milwaukee.
But is that Carmelo still alive?
That Carmelo dude, hell yeah.
I'm talking about that Carmelo. All right, I want you to go win this ball game.
Short corner, give me a bucket. Yes, today.
He just had a bad shooting.
Bad shooting year.
Yeah.
You got to think about it. He's used to getting a high volume of shots. So if you're a volume scorer, you have to get shots to get in rhythm. It was hard for him to get shots because Russ needs his shots. PG needs his shots. Melo's third. So Melo needs to be in a situation where he's third, but he's going to get shots.
I think he have a good year.
He's going to be great in Houston. He's going to Houston. We book that.
Yeah. Smart money. But the thing about him, Melo doesn't make the best career decisions.
No, he doesn't.
You know what I mean? So
historically.
So the fact that even Milwaukee or Miami is even being mentioned right now lets you know what Melo thinks.
Yeah, no, Melo.
Yeah.
He wants to go to the East because it's probably easier for him to resurrect.
Yeah.
But he knows in Houston is where his bread is going to be.
But that's just it's Melo.
It definitely was a bad career move to start working out last year. That didn't work out for him.
I'm pretty sure he works at it.
Yeah, but it wasn't all on social media.
Well, it's not on there this year.
Good.
He's still working out for sure.
Good.
Yeah.
He was trying to resurrect his career.
Don't do that no more. Don't do that.
I love Hoodie Melo.
Yeah, shout out to Melo, man. You guys ready to start the first half?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
The first half is underway.
First half of the Full Sport Press podcast. We go over the hottest sports news of the past week, like we do each and every week. Before we get started, I'm J Ho.
Boy, Big Jeff.
I'm Weezy. What's popping?
Weezy, where can they find you at on social media?
FSP_Weezy on IG,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm at Weezy on Twitter.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we should have got that on the cups, man.
Double cup me.
Double cup.
Somebody, please, double cup.
Yeah. So, Cameron, get him another cup, man, so he can double cup. Jeff, where can they find you at on social media, man?
Jay Easley 84 across all social media platforms.
For sure. Yeah. And I'm J Ho, man, everywhere.
Catch me if you can.
I'm the gingerbread man. You better know
How
it.
the list look?
Oh, that list, man.
Yeah,
I just let a whole bunch of people in.
Really?
Two. Let's move on, man. Start off with the ESPYs, man. The biggest and brightest stars in sports were honored at the 2018 ESPY Awards in Los Angeles on Wednesday night. Now, Washington Capitals winger Alexander Ovechkin won Male Athlete of the Year, and U.S. Olympic snowboarder Chloe Kim won Female Athlete of the Year. The Houston Astros were named this year's best team. We'll kind of go over the good and the bad, starting with the good. What do you guys think about good with the 2018 ESPYs?
They definitely recognize a lot of women.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely a girl power episode.
Yeah.
Award show. That was dope.
Yeah. Yeah, the Arthur Ashe Courage Award. Presented the survivors of the Larry Nassar's sick-ass sexual abuse.
Yeah, man.
141 women on stage, man. He did that for 30 years, dog.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Crazy.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was 30 years.
30 years.
Man, powerful moment, man.
Yeah.
It was dope to see.
Yeah, that's it. I just didn't know how they can go unnoticed for so long.
And she said that they reported it within like the span of close to 15 years,
Right.
In like 10 different occasions. So they just didn't.
Yeah, they just looked over it.
She was like, one person would have paid more attention and said
Could've
something.
stopped.
It could have stopped. Most definitely, that's fucked up. I don't even want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Most definitely. And then the second thing, the Jimmy V Award, Jim Kelly, man. Hey,
that was my guy.
Hey,
That's
still here.
Them just still fighting, man.
Hey, man, that's tough to watch, man.
Let me tell you something. That was hard right there for me.
Hey,
that was
man.
rough.
And
That was rough for me right there.
Listen, man.
That was rough for me right there.
That was tough for me to watch, and I ain't even a Bills fan.
Man.
Godspeed to the man, Jim Kelly, man.
It's like every time he comes out of woodwork with that mess, man, it comes back up on him, man. I just want to praise Jim Kelly, man.
Praise, Godspeed,
Yeah.
most definitely.
Shout out to Jim Kelly.
What's funny about that?
It's not funny.
What the fuck?
It's not funny, Jack.
Yeah.
It's not funny. Come on, man. I didn't like it.
Oh, okay.
Moving on to the bad.
Yeah.
Start with Danica Patrick.
Yep, let's start there.
Dude, her opening monologue might have been the worst I've ever seen in an award show.
That
It was cringeworthy. It was cringeworthy, dog.
It was difficult. It was so difficult to watch when you knew she was coming back for like another extended period of time. You just changed the channel. I was like, I'm not gonna see it.
ESPN dropped the ball on that.
Yeah, why the hell? It's tough start for her retirement. Very tough.
Yeah.
Most definitely. And anybody else got another bad?
That was
enough.
Part.
Yeah.
That was almost worse than LeBron James hosted one year.
Nah, LeBron straight though.
LeBron not too bad.
LeBron straight.
That's my guy. He was bad
He's
too.
bad.
Yeah. He did NC Hammer days. That was bad.
He did do them. What about the lack of NBA star power? There were no NBA The NBA, when they break, they break. They
They don't go nothing.
No, Bron, KD, Westbrook, Curry,
right there.
not even AD, not even Harden in LA. Everybody trains in LA.
Yeah.
Literally, the whole NBA is either in Vegas or in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
But nobody was at the Expo.
Nobody.
No NBA star power.
Well, I guess they felt we weren't winning anything while we here. Anyway, speaking of the NBA,
for sure, great segue, Joe.
The San Antonio Spurs and the Toronto Raptors helped complete the Kawhi Leonard heel turn by creating a trade involving the two All-Stars of Kawhi Leonard and DeMar DeRozan. The Raptors will receive Kawhi Leonard for a 1-year rental, and DeMar will be with the Spurs. And also will receive Danny Green from the Spurs as well to Toronto in exchange for Jacob Porter and a protected 2019 first-round draft pick. What would the Raptors think?
I think this is one of the most, if it works out, one of the most even trades we've seen in years. On paper, most definitely.
Yeah, I think they got a good deal.
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, define what you mean by if it works out. I guess because
the Spurs got the most that they could get. They weren't looking for younger players. They were looking for immediate scoring. They got that in DeRozan.
Definitely got
I understand his defense is shaky, but he's improved every step of the way as far as his last 3 years in Toronto. He's proven. I think he's a second tier All-Pro NBA player, and he's very, very healthy. Stay relatively healthy.
I agree.
So I think with the Spurs, you get an All-Star.
Right.
You have the flexibility now to develop your young boys. You got DeJounte Murray. You got Lonnie Walker to play alongside him. You have LA. He's still there. So, man, Pau Gasol's still there for sure. So, man, I think it was the best case scenario for the Spurs. Now, the Raptors, on the other hand.
This is my question. Yeah, go ahead.
They took a chance. Big time chance. In a place where the other years, like when OKC did it, there's Russell Westbrook an MVP the prior year. You had Carmelo Anthony.
Right.
You literally have Kyle Lowry to sell somebody.
Literally.
That's it.
So unless they figured we go all in this year, we wanted to rebuild after this anyway.
Yeah.
That's the only way this makes sense to me. Because you get from up under DeMar DeRozan's contract, and you just have to worry about dealing Kyle Lowry.
Yeah. And they need to trade Lowry. They need to trade him.
Okay.
I say to trade him to Orlando or Phoenix. Get some young pieces and start all the way over.
Well, I think Toronto's looking at it like this.
Go ahead.
The East is weak.
For sure.
The East is weak, and they said this is our best chance. It was already in the playoffs without him.
Right.
And let's just keep it. Let's be honest. He's better than DeMar
No
DeRozan.
question.
Of course.
Top 5 player.
I mean, if he
two-way player in the league.
Yeah, if he get back to the player he was 2 years ago, 2 times better than DeMar DeRozan.
Right.
And they was already in the playoffs. No LeBron's there no more.
Right.
If Kawhi Leonard can do what he's supposed to do, that'll put them in right there in the conference final.
It's a championship or bust situation. Yeah. I get it.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, to me, and this is, I may be the only one in the room that feels this way. They didn't get any better, though.
I agree 100%. Now, listen, they were going to be a third
seed. They were third seed last year. They're going to be a third seed this year.
For sure.
Yeah, but it's going to be a whole lot better. They won a third seed last year.
They were number 1 seed.
What I'm saying is they're going to be a third seed.
Yeah, with DeRozan, he was saying they were going to be a third seed.
Yeah.
And they are going to be a third seed with.
Yeah, they're not going to be Boston. They're not going to be Philly.
They may be Philly. But if Fultz is playing the way Fultz is thinking, I'm thinking he's going to play. Tell him.
No, you can't depend on that.
But you said that, and then you saw him play. I ain't like he can play. So probably need to stick to what you're going to. Okay. Yeah, stick to your guns. But I do think with Toronto, they had to make a deal because, again, like you're saying, it's third.
Yeah.
So if you championship or bust, not we blow this whole thing up, start fresh.
Yeah.
Masai Ujiri, though, I don't like the way he did DeRozan.
Definitely not talking about that.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Hold on, championship or bust? You saying they got to win the championship? I don't think they got to get
just to compete.
To Toronto,
I think conference finals, and they feel like, oh, we had a good year.
Not after what happened to them last year.
Yeah, they got swept.
The way that team performed last year with that bench, and that's starting Serge doing what he's doing.
I'm telling you, if they get to the conference finals, they'll look at that. They consider that as a good year.
I mean, I agree with that, but I think that I've heard people say that Kawhi Leonard said even if they win, they can win a finals. Like they win the whole damn thing.
Oh, he's not going to say.
He's not. No. So I guess what they're thinking is they're gonna persuade, just like Sam Hinkie, Sam Presti went and had a full year to say, hey, I'm going to get you here. Because Paul George wasn't necessarily excited to get there. He wanted to go to L.A.
Right.
But he sold his whole family, him, on OKC. So Masai Ujiri, you got a year to do that.
And his new best friend.
Russell Westbrook, for sure. Most definitely.
No, they say Weezy.
You do what you want when you pop it, right?
Russ ball ain't that bad.
Yeah, it ain't that bad. Most definitely. Let's move on to the NFL, man. Darrelle Revis announced his retirement on Wednesday. His nickname is already in the nickname Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Sure. Revis Allen and stuff. Yeah. Now,
that's good marketing right there.
Oh, man.
That's it.
And they said that. Rex Ryan.
Yeah.
Came up with that.
I can see that.
Yeah. Anyway, well, before the days of Josh Norman, Richard Sherman, Darrelle Revis made and legitimized an on-field brand out of heavyweight fights. Mm-hmm. So in 2009, it was a stretch where he was playing against a gauntlet of all pros, potential Hall of Famers. Yeah. So let's go through it real quick. Andre Johnson held him to 4 catches for 30 yards. Mm-hmm. Randy Moss, 4 catches for 24 yards. Mm-hmm. T.O., 3 catches for 13 yards. Roddy White, 4 catches for 33 yards. Steve Smith, 1 catch, 5 yards. Chad Johnson, 2 catches for 28. And Reggie Wayne, 3 catches for 50.
That was one season.
And that was in one season. I think that, and people say that 2009 season that Revis put together was one of the best seasons a cornerback has ever displayed. Yeah. So, but Revis only had 3 years. He had 3 years of dominance from 2007, 8 to 2011. Is he a Hall of Famer?
The ring got him in
there. That New England ring.
Yeah, that ring got him in there.
Yeah. There's no doubt. I think he revolutionized the cornerback position. Yeah. He picked up where Deion left off. Yeah. Got cornerbacks paid at a high level. He was the first person to get paid at the cornerback position, like a quarterback was being paid. Yeah. So
he's one of the most physical, complete corners I've seen in a long time.
Ain't no question.
He played on the run.
Yeah.
I mean, he uses his hands well.
Yeah.
Because, most cornerbacks these days, either they super fast or they physical. There's no both.
And he was moving up and down the field. Yeah. He was following, shadowing those, your number one everywhere.
I'm going.
He was right there. He was in the pocket. So I think, in my eyes, I'm a big fan of cornerbacks. I think Darrelle Revis is the second best cornerback I've seen. Even if it was Charles, I think he's better than Charles Woodson. Charles Woodson's run was longer. Yeah. He moved to safety and stretched it out. But I think Revis is the second best cornerback I've seen since Deion Sanders.
So, Darrelle Revis is gone. So, next best quarterback is going to be who?
The next best after Darrelle was Josh Norman. To me,
I'm talking about right now today.
Today is who's the best cornerback in the NFL right now?
We're going to talk about that.
We sure
are. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, we got the top 7 coming up.
Yeah.
Just tell me who you think on top of your head. Y'all want to wait.
I'm saying the top 7.
Yeah, I know what I was going to say.
Yeah. You think Jalen Ramsey is?
I mean,
Ramsey locked down.
We know that, though. We get that. Let's move on to the WNBA, guys. The Dallas Wings' Liz Cambage had an incredibly efficient work day on Tuesday. Her team won 184-87 over the New York Liberty. The center scored 53 points, which is a league record for the WNBA in a single game. Let's talk about the stats for that game.
Come on.
She went 17 of 22 field goal attempts, 4 of 5 from 3, and 15 out of 16 from the free throw line. Mm-hmm. How impressive was it?
Liz put in work, man.
Work?
Yeah. Liz 6'8" with it.
6'8" with it.
Yep, she from Australia.
Yeah.
From Melbourne.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ben Simmons. Liz hadn't played in the WNBA the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Played overseas. She said some things. We were, and I quote, signed $1 million contracts in Asia and Russia, and get treated like royalty. But when we're here in America, we're flying in the back of a plane in economy, playing back-to-backs, treated like second-class citizens. End quote. Which is true. This is true. I mean,
maybe not second-class citizens.
For sure. She said it was too far. But Liz, man, put in work, man. Liz can hoop.
Yeah.
Here's the question: would you date a woman that's 6'8"? Cameron, you down for that? Okay. Yeah. You got 6'8"?
Yeah, 6'8".
6'8". Now Liz is an attractive lady.
Yeah, that's keeping the buck.
Yeah, Liz nice. Yeah, for sure.
You guys,
I can't do 6'8".
That's tough.
I can't do 6'8". 6'8" is a lot.
It's a lot. She posted me away.
Ball. Mouse in the house. Got a baby on me. Got a baby on me.
Man,
that's a bucket. Yeah.
Barbecue chicken.
Yeah, barbecue chicken alert.
Gotta get physical.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Liz ain't a little like
good flavor one every time.
Woo!
Barbecue chicken.
Yeah, for sure.
Barbecue chicken.
6'8". That's tough.
6'8".
Before we get started with halftime, let's talk about a little bit of money.
Oh.
Forbes released today its annual list of the 50 most valuable sports teams. Now, the Dallas Cowboys were number one, valued at $4.8 billion, up 14% from last year. The second team and the third team and the fourth team were all soccer teams. Man U was 4.12, Real Madrid 4.09, and Barcelona was 4.06. Rounding out the top five is the New York Yankees, coming in at an estimated $4 billion. And the world's most valuable sports teams of 2018 are worth a cumulative $137 billion. And the average current value of these 50 teams are $2.74 billion. How do we get in on some of this franchise money? Because it's there. Yeah.
Gotta get it like a minor league team. Hopefully.
Man, for sure. Sasquatch and Rough Riders. You gotta holler at Jim Jones.
Gotta holler at Jim Jones.
We gotta start with Jim Jones.
Yeah, man.
I got you.
Get it at, was it Arena 2?
Yeah, it's Arena 2. Yeah. It might be Arena 1.
Might be Arena 1. Okay.
It's Arena 1 and Arena 2.
Yeah.
The Knicks are the most valuable NBA team, worth $3.6 billion.
I can see that.
How are NFL teams the most lucrative team in sports, but they won't guarantee money to their star players?
It makes me sick to think about it.
Dude,
You mentioned about $60 million a year.
that's insane.
It makes me sick to think about it.
That league is ran by old money.
And
Completely.
together.
Yeah.
Stick together.
That old money.
No guarantee.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins got the first guaranteed contract in NFL history. Let's kind of hope that there's a sign of things to come, but
Hopefully.
you look at it, dude, these guys are putting the most risk.
Yeah.
NHL, guaranteed contract.
Yeah.
Major League Baseball, guaranteed.
Look about $1 billion.
NBA, guaranteed. And these NFL kids, first off, they're retired by 29.
Easy.
You're done basically by 29.
Right.
But there's no guaranteed money. It's insane, man. But these teams,
killing it. At the box
everybody's up.
office.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Dude, the Knicks,
it's the most watched sport in America.
dude,
Yeah.
the Knicks ain't won shit.
But that's New York, though. That's New York.
It's New York. That's most definitely.
It's crazy.
Wow. You guys ready to start with halftime?
So,
Let's go.
We're at the midway point. Enjoy all of the halftime festivities.
Halftime. We have another installment of Coach Brown's 2-minute drill. Coach Brown's a former TSU tight end and the current defensive coordinator for Hillsborough High School in Nashville, Tennessee. Shout out to the Burrows. Coach Brown will give an insight on hot topics from a former player and a current coach's perspective. Let's see what Coach Brown has to say this week.
Good evening. I am Coach Brown, and welcome to Coach Brown's 2-minute drill. I am back in full effect. We're going to jump right into it. I know Michael Beasley is like the streets poet. He's every center ball player's best player, and he can hoop for all intents and purposes. But Michael Beasley's not going to help bring a championship to the Lakers. The Lakers have a team full of center basketball players, not one shooter. Hey, man, if we were at Coleman or Rose Park, I would pick this team. But we're playing in the NBA. Not going to happen. All right, moving on to the NFL. Let's talk some of these conferences, So I'm going to be honest. You may see some teams creeping to the playoffs this year, maybe 8-8, maybe 9-7, just due to how tough these divisions are. So what do you guys think? What's going to be the toughest division in the NFL this year? All right, I got to talk about this. My boy Le'Veon Bell turned down a $70 million contract. I don't know if I got the nuts enough to turn down $70 million, 30 guaranteed, because I want to be the best, the highest paid running back in the NFL. Now, at some point in time, you got to cut your losses. And I don't even know if you can consider this a loss if they're offering you 70 mil, 30 guaranteed, and you say no. So now you got to still play for the Steelers and work on a franchise tag, which you may make 15 a year. Come on, Le'Veon, man. His agent has to be an idiot. Because you got to think about the running back market. Running backs aren't going to make that type of money. They will offer him 70 mil. You got to think about next year. Ezekiel Elliott and Todd Gurley are going to re-up. So they're going to end up being, one of them is going to end up being the highest paid running back. Probably Todd Gurley before Ezekiel. So for that very reason, man, Le'Veon Bell, man, you the bum of the week, man. Dude, should have took the bread. Shelf life on a running back is short. Very short. Vienna sauce is short. Okay? Dennet can short. All right? Hey, I am the coach. Coach Brown it is. Rue, and I'm gone.
And that is another installment of Coach Brown's 2-minute drill. Coach Brown had the beard popping, man.
Yeah, he did.
He was running around recording the 2-minute drill. First thing
he
you
was
talked
literally doing a 2-minute drill.
Most definitely. First thing you talked about was Mike Beasley signing with the Lakers.
Huge pickup.
Yeah, I like that, man. People don't realize Mike Beasley's a walking bucket. You need somebody to get a bucket coming off the bench. I think what they're doing, they're stockpiling people in order to replace people that they're potentially going to trade. And I think Brandon Ingram is that person.
Because they're going to lose all those guys next year.
They're all one-year deals. But I'm saying just replacement. I really do think that they're going to trade Brandon Ingram before the start. You can tell how LeBron shook his hand. He looked sketchy.
And if people don't realize, they put all these players that can get a bucket around the best player in the world.
Yeah,
he never had that. When he played with Cavaliers, only team he had that on was Miami. He played the Cavaliers, he had.
That's cool, guys.
All right.
LeBron asked for cerebral players to be around him.
Yeah.
And you bring in Rajon Rondo,
So cerebral.
Then you bring JaVale McGee.
Yeah, that's a bad. He's not going to play. Lance Stevens is going to play.
That's
Michael Beasley.
Don't bring up KCP cerebral.
All right,
For sure.
They're calling him the meme team now. You know what
I mean, whatever the case may be, man, they got a good squad. I ain't tripping about that.
Oh, do you know what they call LeBron fans now?
What's that?
The 3-6 Mafia.
3-6. Why?
3-6 in the finals.
That's
funny.
I don't find that funny.
I wouldn't either.
I cried
That's
laughing
pretty
when I
sad.
heard
Pretty
it.
sad. Yeah, that's pretty
That's
sad.
funny, dude.
That's good.
What time Russell Westbrook got to the finals?
Y'all Miami beat him.
Yeah. It's been a while.
3-6 Mafia is still funny.
That's
It's still funny. No matter what you say, I can take a joke.
Yeah.
3-6 Mafia is still funny.
Let's move on to the NFL. What is the best division in the NFL?
To me, NFC South.
AFC South, baby.
NFC South.
He said NFC South.
AFC South. It's going to be rough
It's
this
gonna be
year.
rough. I think the
That's when Andrew Luck coming back.
NFC West is gonna be tough. Arizona's gonna be good this year because Josh Rosen.
You don't know that.
Seattle's gonna be better than people think.
49ers not going to be
49ers gonna be good.
Well, that's going to be 7-10.
Yeah, Jay, don't think I'm going to make the playoffs.
Hey man,
I'm just telling
I think we're gonna be 9-7.
Oh, that's fighting for a wild card.
Yeah, we're gonna make that.
He's going to turn around. He's going to give y'all that much of a turnaround.
Well, I'm just saying.
That's how much you believe in Jimmy G.
Dude, he's dating Kiera Mia.
That's the downfall.
Yeah.
That's your man.
Just remember that. That's your man.
That's my guy, most definitely. Le'Veon, should he have taken that $30 million guaranteed $70 million contract from the Steelers?
No. You know yourself.
Bet on yourself.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler style.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
To me, if they're going to keep on franchising you like that,
Yeah.
get your money, man.
Get your money.
In some kind of way. And I don't think he wants to play in Pittsburgh no
I
more.
don't think he's done with that shit.
Yeah.
For sure. He'll be in Detroit next year.
That's crazy because when he leaves Pittsburgh still gonna look the same.
Look the exact same.
Gonna look the
Yeah,
exact
they
same.
got his replacement on the bench already.
Yeah,
That's my comment.
And that's gonna, but that's gonna be the same as the best offense in the league this year.
Best offense? Ain't no question.
You said second best?
The best.
Oh, the best. It should be.
It better be.
It better be. Mike
Yeah.
Tomlin better make that work.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if you got rid of Martavis Bryant,
Yeah.
bringing him in with Juju.
Young Choo.
Yeah, Juju.
26-yard touchdown.
You ready to get started with this second half, man?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
The second half is underway.
Second half, Full Sport Press Podcast. This week's topic is the business side of sports. Before we get started, I'm Jay Hope.
It's your boy, Big Jeff.
I'm Weezy.
Weezy, when you think about it, nobody in sports really appreciate themselves as far as loyalty is concerned. Loyalty doesn't exist in sports. It never has. And it is completely a selfish situation in sports.
Selfish.
Selfish.
Dirty game, man.
Cold
Dirty.
world.
Dirty game. Now, no one is as dedicated as Jeff would know to the team as a fan. So there's no surprise that people like players, coaches, and owners and general managers have been so disloyal over the years. what that happens is the betrayal. And Jeff, you can attest to this. Betrayal of losing with the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
You keep that team together. That's the reason that y'all competed for so long.
Right.
Teams fall apart. And this.
That's what happens when you don't pay Bruce Smith.
And you know? So what we're Buffalo Bills, dude. Now, there have been plenty of betrayals in sports over the years. FSP is here to break down some of the biggest betrayals in sports history. Now, as we see more superstar movement, we're seeing more and more public ruthlessness by teams. What brought this to our attention to talk about it this week was the way that Masai Ujiri, that we talked about in the first half, did DeMar DeRozan.
Oh my gosh, man.
A player that is from California. 42% sales tax in Toronto. Stayed there. Signed a $152 million contract.
I think that sounds,
only to be traded 2 years later.
Told you weren't going to be traded.
After you were flown into Vegas, sitting down with a full management team, and you say, "Hey, ain't no way. We're going to keep you. We're just going to move some other pieces to get you some help." But only to come to the situation, you are the one that was traded. So, first thing we'll talk about, no sequential order. We'll talk about Shaq being traded from Orlando, and Shaq also traded from Los Angeles.
Shaq been traded out here.
Shaq got his
Shaq bounced around.
He did.
Real.
Most
be real. Yeah.
The Orlando Magic took Shaq with the first overall pick in '92. They were ready to build a franchise around the big dynamic man. And Shaq only lasted 4 seasons in Orlando. The Magic decided to go again with Penny Hardaway and then come later into his. Go ahead.
I don't think that. Go ahead, but that's not. They didn't decide to go with Penny. Shaq didn't leave many options.
Shaq also demanded for Penny Hardaway to be traded.
See what I'm saying?
So, but okay, if you are the Orlando Magic and you have Shaq and you have Penny Hardaway, who are you picking to run your franchise run?
That's the thing, though.
Talk to me.
Let's do only hypotheticals before you say something.
Okay.
You look at it like you want to bite my head off. Pause. If Penny never gets hurt, Orlando had 2 generational players on their team.
For sure.
All right. Of course, we look at it now with revisionist eyes, like Shaq is the most dominant player ever, and Penny was injury prone.
But Penny was Penny.
But Penny was Penny.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go to the trademark and you say, who can I get the most for?
Mm-hmm.
It was Shaq.
It was Shaq.
You know, so you kind of had to do it that way. But dang, Penny, I'm sorry.
The main thing with that is Grant Hill, Penny Hardaway. If they are never injured, they are transcendent talents, Hall of Fame talents.
Most of
them.
Grant still made it.
He's definitely. He made it. Oh well, he's gonna make it this year. Yeah, they're gonna this year. Now Shaq goes to LA, wins a couple of championships, right? Mm-hmm. Playing with Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Same situation.
Yeah.
Here's your guard. Yeah. Here's your big. Shaq is a little long in the tooth though at this time. He's longer in the tooth.
Not
sure.
Really.
He's longer in the tooth. Shaq is longer in the tooth by then. Yeah, LA, he's still in his prime. Did you not? Well, and he gets.
But he went to Miami with a chip.
And he came second in MVP voting that year.
Yeah, it was focused.
Yeah,
but to the what you're saying, Kobe was complaining that Shaq wouldn't work out in the off season. Shaq would take the first half of the season to get into shape.
He plays well in shape.
Yeah, and Kobe was like, "Dude, like
I'm busting my ass."
Exactly.
Yeah. So in turn, is the betrayal more towards Shaq in both situations, or is the betrayal of the teams not believing in him?
Who's the common denominator?
Shaq. I think this is one of the only people on the list where the betrayal is done more by Shaq not being able. If he stays in Orlando, he maybe will get 3 rings with Penny if Penny is 100% healthy.
There's no, and I look at that shit, the Shaq and Kobe team. Mm-hmm. There's no reason that team didn't have 4 rings.
It's supposed to at least
4.
Oh, if they stay together, I think they get at least 5-6 rings total.
Yeah, because let's be real. They should no disrespect to Evan Brown. I know he's listening.
Right.
They shouldn't beat Detroit.
Yeah, for sure. They shouldn't have beat Detroit.
They should.
They should have beat Detroit.
Oh yeah, it should have beat Detroit for sure. Yeah, 100%. My bad.
Yeah, Kobe said that was completely his fault.
You can see them arguing down the court.
Right.
You can see them physically arguing to each other down the court. It was crazy. And Karl Malone just trying to get a bucket and win it.
And Jerry Buss is saying, he said, Shaq said, hey, listen, man, we're going to trade you, man, because I can't pay you this amount of money when you're 35. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
We're going to have to trade you. But I don't think there's a betrayal on his side. I think if Shaq would have been a little bit more receptive to Kobe Bryant, maybe taking the reins and being the leader of the team.
Yeah. He didn't want to give him. He didn't want to give any.
He didn't want to give any of it. That's true.
There's no compromise.
Yeah.
Shaq bounced around.
Shaq been around the world.
He left
Phoenix.
Heat, then with the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Boston. Cleveland.
Yeah. No, it was Cleveland, then Boston.
Cleveland, then Boston. You're right.
Yeah, because that's what he tore his Achilles playing in Boston.
And he said, you know what, I'm out.
Hey, you know what? It's time. The next team, the next person, Lane Kiffin, leaving UT. Now, while Kiffin didn't see a whole lot of success as the head coach of the Oakland Raiders, Kiffin's next stop was with the UT Vols as a head coach. Now, Kiffin's one-year stint with Tennessee just shows the kind of person that he was at that time. Unfortunately for them, he bolted the university and took over the USC job immediately after Pete Carroll left. He had opened many doors at Tennessee, only to close them soon after entering. Now, Kiffin seemed to have made the right choice, mainly just the fact, if you're looking at it on paper, Matt Barkley was up to be a Heisman winner. Yeah. It's easy to recruit at USC. Yeah. Looks as if Pete Carroll had left a dynasty there. We'll talk about Pete Carroll for sure.
Most definitely.
But Kiffin's tenure at USC is widely considered a disappointment. When you say that's your squad.
Yeah. Oh,
USC.
Oh, yeah, USC. I said UT.
Yeah.
USC no squad.
But I think his questionable coaching and the sanctions really hurt Lane. That hurt Lane. Yeah. But him at UT, he had the whole city. Shout out to Yoski. Antonio was so hyped with Lane Kiffin.
Yeah. He's recruiting.
Oh my God, he's getting players.
That's when he had Tyler Bray, Richardson, which is a monster.
No, he
had some killers in there.
Yeah, he had some killers coming to UT. Yeah. He's a recruiter. That's what he does. He recruits at a
great
very high. Dude, sell you anything that you need to be sold.
Right.
The only thing with Lane, he lacks the authenticity that's needed at the head coach position. That's my opinion. And he'll get another gig. This year coming up.
Somebody's about to offer him whatever.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because he can bring the players there.
The players there.
But to his, I mean,
defense.
I can't defend him on this one.
Okay.
He was wrong with it at UT. But it came back to him because he left USC. He got beat by Arizona State 55-6.
Mm-hmm.
They fired him that night.
They fired him on the tarmac.
They fired him that night.
Yeah, and then Lane left in the middle of the night the same way from UT. Yeah. He got out of there.
As soon as that job came,
but you know what's crooked? That he on that staff? Ed Orgeron.
Yeah, Cookie Monster.
Ed Orgeron.
Yeah. And even with Lane, the way that he left so unceremoniously when Butch got fired, people were asking him, we might need to bring Lane back. That's crazy.
Because he had Alabama looking good, man.
I mean, he had the offense going crazy. He just didn't throw the ball. I mean, he didn't have a quarterback. But the way he talk about Tua, all right. Watch what Tua do.
Somehow we got right back to Tua.
Hey, man.
Okay.
That's my guy.
You're right.
Good luck.
Yeah. The next person. Carlos Boozer, man. Spurns the Cavs. Signs with Utah. Do you guys remember, so Carlos Boozer was a late first, maybe an early second round pick. Had some really good years the first couple of years playing with Bron. Yeah. He was said to be a restricted free agent in 2004. Right. The Cavs wanted to reward Boozer for outplaying his contract. Yep. So they let him become an unrestricted free agent. Right. Makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. And it was a kind of a handshake deal. Mm-hmm. Hey, we'll let you be an unrestricted free agent, but you're coming back, right? There was a deal placed. In the last hour, Utah came through with a $74 million contract. Mm-hmm. Boozer did not keep his word and ended up signing with the Jazz. Right. basically, and the Cavs couldn't match 73, 74 million. Ain't no way. Carlos Boozer, I think, that's something I think. If he plays with LeBron,
Right.
they win the championship quicker, and he never leaves Cleveland, period.
That domino of him going to Utah does
Yeah.
accelerate the process of LeBron going
Yeah.
back.
They were about to take off.
Yeah. Man, that was a weird time.
Was tough.
When he did that, because that was unprecedented. Like, you never heard of a player getting the opportunity to become an unrestricted free agent because the team granted it for you.
Yeah.
So they can give you more money.
Yeah.
And then just like, screw it. I'm going over here.
Yeah. No, for sure. If Boozer never leaves, they win. I think they win a title.
And Boozer never bounced back from that.
Yeah, well, he got to playing with Darren Williams. He's an all-star. They didn't play deep into the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying.
It was never the same.
And they paid him $74 million.
Hell yeah.
And that's before. That was a big time
That was a
deal.
huge
That's what
contract.
back then. You know,
It was
that
a
was before.
huge
That
contract.
was a big time deal.
Yeah, no, it was a huge contract. But Boozer staying in Cleveland, you build around him, Bron, Mo Williams.
Woo! I miss Mo Williams.
Hey, man.
Mo was a solid point.
Mo was solid. Mo's an all-star.
Yeah. Solid point.
Playing with Bron.
Solid point.
This is a tough one for me.
I bet it is.
Yep. These next two, boy, I tell you.
Urban Meyer, he retired from coaching. Listen. Urban brought my gave us 2 championships, 2006, 2008.
Yes, he did.
I can understand him retiring from college football because of health issues. His daughters were in college. He wanted to see them play volleyball. A bunch of different reasons. It made sense. Signed a 3-year deal with ESPN in 2011.
Yep.
In November of that same exact year, he was hired as the head coach of the Buckeyes. And I remember saying, okay, Herb left, it was getting kind of stale. I said to myself, it's stale. He can leave.
Yeah.
Go ahead, leave, man.
Yeah.
We might need to start something. We brought in Muschamp.
Will Muschamp. Yeah.
And I was hype about the Will Muschamp era.
Shouldn't be, but okay.
I was fine with it. His record since he's been at Ohio State is 70-18. Played in 3 championships. Played for 3 championships.
Right.
Won 1.
God, 17, that's crazy.
The puzzle pieces just didn't match for him leaving Florida and the way that he left. I know why now, because he didn't want to deal with the shit that he brought there.
Yep.
141 people since he was at Florida State. In Florida for those 2 teams. 2006, 2008. What is it, like 51 people have been arrested between that time and now? 51 out of 121.
Killers.
And you got St. Tebow.
And you got Tebow, great one. So it was too much of a headache. He got fed up. He said, man, I'm going to retire.
Yeah.
I think he probably did, he had a heart attack or panic attack, something like that. And I get it. It made sense. But we have never successfully bounced back from Urban Meyer. Never.
Because it was so abrupt.
Oh, dude, it was out of the blue.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, the way Jimbo left, y'all, this is going to be the exact same thing. I guarantee it, Jeff. I'm telling you. We get coaches like that. Those come dime a dozen, dog.
You can't say that when we went from the great Bobby Bowden to him.
To Jimbo. But it was that was a hand in glove fit right there.
But
you don't get Jimbo again, and he's not Willie Taggart.
But Jimbo didn't want to be there. And the players didn't want Jimbo there.
No. Jimbo got ran out of there because of fans like you. And I'm telling you, today, 2018, he's been gone since 2010. I miss Urban Meyer. He missed the hell out of him.
Jimbo.
Come on, Jay.
I do.
For the talent.
I do miss the hell out of Urban Meyer.
Here's the thing. For the talent that Jimbo had in Florida State, we're going to move on. There's no reason we only got 1 chip. It didn't time for it. The E.J. Manuel teams to the James Winston team. Yeah. There's no reason why we only had 1 chip. No reason.
Do you know how hard it is to get 1?
Damn. There's no reason.
It's very difficult.
It's same. No, it's difficult. No,
it's very difficult.
But that team that we had, that James as a freshman came and took to the chip,
for sure,
was the same as that team the year before.
For sure, it was
same as that team. Only EJ was a quarterback.
EJ's not good as James Winston.
We all know this.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm telling you, man, y'all at least should have won 2 with James. I've never
disliked the player so much.
Yeah,
I dislike EJ
Manuel. I feel I have very similar sentiments about a couple of Florida players that I'm ashamed to mention. For sure.
We should at least have 2 chips with But that 3 to 4 year run right there should have been 2 championships.
You want to read this one, Joe?
Yeah, let's go to this next.
You gonna read this?
No,
Yeah.
I don't want to
No,
talk
you
about. I don't want to talk about this.
No, you got it.
Okay, so this next one is Kevin Durant leaves OKC. Yeah. Kevin Durant was texting and having fun times with Draymond Green right after the Golden State Warriors lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers in the finals, right? But here's what I didn't mention. Oklahoma City was up 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals against Golden State.
Can we start in 2012 though, when he averaged 31,
the MVP,
61%? Ridiculous.
Yeah, great.
They lost in 5.
That's not the MVP. Yeah, lost in 5. Yeah.
30-8 in 2016, won his first championship.
Right.
Won 4 scoring titles, MVP, and it was something that ran him out of OKC. And it wasn't necessarily Russell Westbrook. I think it is just the comfort of playing around cerebral basketball players.
Or the comfort of not having to be.
Now, I think he was on a course, the same crash course that many great NBA players, Chris Paul, Steve Nash, Melo, Karl Malone.
Because quiet as kept, he is the guy on the Golden State team.
But he didn't have to be.
He does.
He can pass the ball to Steph every time he wants to.
I just think that
because people still view it as Steph's a 2-time MVP. My God, Weezy, he was the first and only unanimous MVP that great league has ever had.
This is
the first and only. How can you say the first and only unanimous MVP?
Steph Curry is the Warriors. It ain't no question. He's announced last.
He's never won the Finals MVP.
Yeah, I mean that don't matter. That don't matter. But I think what Kevin Durant was attempting to do was not to be mentioned amongst the Russell Westbrooks, your Chris Paul, your Steve Nash, your Karl Malone, Reggie Millers, not having a championship. So why not go to a place where you're competing for a championship every year?
Or go to a place where you automatically know you're winning the championship every year.
But was it betrayal this is a betrayal of a teammate, right?
It's a certain get my words right, because I don't want to sound like that. It's a certain way of thinking that you gotta have to be able to do the move he did.
Yeah.
Because there's no way I'm up 3-1 against somebody and somehow everything goes wrong and I lose. And I want to go play with that team.
I don't think it's a betrayal what KD did.
He didn't. But you don't think he betrayed Russell Westbrook?
I don't think so. He's a free agent. I think it wasn't like he just left and said, you know what, fuck Russell Westbrook. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Judging by his burner accounts, he pretty much did say that.
I think that's where the betrayal sets in. That's the only thing that I think that maybe he could have contacted or reached out to Westbrook like, hey man, this ain't working for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this over here. He never made that phone call.
Never.
So I mean, and I think he's getting exactly what he sought after.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the backlash
is killing him.
It's killing him.
Yeah.
It's killing him.
I've never seen someone have so many emotional outbursts when everything for you is so easy.
Yeah. He's such a great player, man.
Yeah, he's a great player. On top of him being a great player, but he has so many great players around him to where his job, he just got to show up to work, dude. Like, he don't do anything.
He's that hoop.
So,
but it's not a right answer to say why he made that decision in 2016.
It's just a way of thinking. It's a way of thinking. It's for you to honestly be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm going to play with people who beat me.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's where a lot of people that are heavy into sports will look at it. I look at it as him attempting to compete for championships for multiple years. And I think he leaves Golden State, if not next year, or maybe the year after that. For sure.
Yeah. I mean, he has no voice in anybody, so of course he can go.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. It's going to get crazy.
Bobby Petrino leaving Atlanta. Now, Bobby Petrino left Louisville in 2006 after he signed a 10-year deal with them. Louisville was kind of upset, but it makes sense. You're going to coach the Atlanta Falcons. He signed a 5-year deal with them worth $24 million. Okay. Now, a major reason why Petrino was brought in is because they had a quarterback by the name of Michael Vick and was trying to turn him into a more quote-unquote complete quarterback. Now, that summer, Bobby Petrino found out that Vick had an illegal dogfighting operation. Yeah. So Petrino instead entered that 2007 season with Joey Harrington, Byron Leftwich, and Chris Redmond as his quarterback.
That was rough.
That's tough.
And not prime Byron Leftwich.
Oh no,
this is broken down.
Oh,
just about the league.
Yeah,
Byron
for sure.
Leftwich.
So with your franchise quarterback basically in jail
Yeah.
for the season, the Falcons went 3-10. So what did Bobby do? Bobby said, "Listen, I wasn't hired here
to coach Joey
Harrington and Chris Redden. Sure in the hell not Byron Leftwich." So on December 2007, Petrino resigned to take the job as the head coach at Arkansas.
Pick Stewart.
Now, what Petrino did, he informed his players of his decision in a laminated note he left on each of the players' lockers. A move that many in the organization harshly criticized and stated that Petrino would never coach in the NFL again after that shallow move.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, we know what Bobby got jammed up with in 2012 at Arkansas.
Well, you gotta go there.
He was on a motorcycle.
On a motorcycle ride.
Yeah, for sure. He just taking a motorcycle ride.
He's having a good time.
With a former Arkansas volleyball player that he hired to work in athletics. But
Right.
Sure.
He's very bad.
But you know what he did? He got another job that next season, Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
And where's Bobby right now?
Yeah.
Back in Louisville.
Back in Louisville.
7-year deal, $24 million. So yeah, the betrayal was done to the Atlanta Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby shouldn't have never left anyway, but I see why Bobby left.
I would love to if I was
Mike
Mike
Vick.
Got a chance to go coach Mike Vick. Yeah.
You gotta go.
You gotta do that. That's a video game player.
Yeah.
Vick was in his prime.
That's Vic. That was Vic.
That was
Vic.
That was Vic. That was Madden Vic.
Yeah.
Woo. Next person. Isaiah Thomas. Traded to the Celtics. Well, traded from the Celtics. Now, he was traded to Boston in 2015 when Danny Ainge stated, "I got the player that I've coveted for years." End quote. Now, Isaiah Thomas in 2016 scored 20 points in 43 straight games, which is a record. Scored 2,000 points in that single season. Finished top 5 in MVP, averaging 29 at 27 years old. Played in a playoff game one day after his sister's tragic death. And he finally succumbs to the hip injury that he played in the entire second half of the season. And the Cavs beat them in 5 games. So this hip injury, right, ends up being much more serious than anybody ever realized after being misdiagnosed by the Celtics' 18-year staff. Been there 18 years.
Right.
What do? You fire that whole staff.
You got to.
The Celtics then trade the first overall pick, and it makes think everybody, okay, well, IT is going to be there. You're trading. You're not getting your point guard.
Right.
You probably get Tatum, which they did. Which everybody thought. Going to keep IT. 2 months later, him and Jay Crowder were traded to Cleveland for Kyrie Irving. Now, it is eventually reported that there's no way that this news could validate the actual injury because this injury was way more worse than diagnosed, and also was that I believe he's not going to play until December or January.
Wow.
They were trying to get more players. That's how bad the trade was.
Yeah.
That's how bad his hip looked in the medical records. They said, "Nah, we got to get more people because this kid's damaged goods, man. You traded us, Danny Ainge. What the hell?"
Yeah.
And then what happened in February? Now, granted, he played in January.
Yeah.
Played what? 17 games?
With the Cavs.
He was traded in February 2018. March 2018, had surgery. Signed a 1-year deal. Missed out on $175 million because of a franchise.
You need to sue them boys.
This is tough.
Dude, I literally hate talking about that.
Yeah.
Because, dude, he deserves all $175 million that he put in for Boston.
This is the prototypical reason why I said he's the poster child for why Kawhi Leonard is doing everything he's doing right now.
100%.
That's why I'm not mad at anything Kawhi Leonard is doing because
sure.
of what the league did to Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
Like, again, $2 million is nothing to sneeze at.
Hell no.
But when you pretty much
in the NBA yesterday,
but
Isaiah Thomas is something to sneeze at.
That's what I'm saying is when you're in the position to where you about to bring a Brinks truck with 100 plus to you, that's guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
And then now it's that 100 plus evaporates into 2. It's like, dang.
That hurts, man. I hate that for IT, man. IT will never get the money that he rightfully deserves.
Slow grind, baby.
It's that slow grind, man. I hope and pray that they find a way to get him at least $100 million in a sued situation. But dude, He's not. He'll be 30. He'll be 30 this
Right.
year, man.
That's the thing.
That's the thing, man.
And what makes him great is the explosiveness.
Hell yeah.
Getting into tough spots, making tough shots because of his size difference for the player. So that goes away as you get older. You know what I mean? So
and playing at 5'8".
Exactly.
Tough, man. Next person. Pete Carroll leaving USC. Now, there have been a lot of great college football coaches over the years, but I can say that Pete Carroll is top 2, maybe 3 of our generation.
Yeah,
So
college.
Saban's one.
Yeah.
Obviously, right?
Yeah. Pete Carroll, I think Urban Meyers, too.
Urban Meyer definitely with what he
Yeah,
did
because he
before
won 2
then.
for us, and then he won 1
Yeah.
in Ohio State
Yeah.
and competed. He
Yeah.
did something the same. But
Dabo.
Dabo won
Dabo.
1.
He won
Dabo
one.
won 1.
Yeah.
He just been there a lot.
Yeah.
Just won there.
He won 1.
Okay.
But look at Pete Carroll. He amassed a 97-10 record there. Insane. 2 national championships, played in 3. 3 Heisman Trophy winners, 53 first-round picks. That is, for a 10-year span, that's insane.
Yeah.
Then when he left the team, following the allegations that would put the team on probation for Reggie Bush, his departure made Trojan Nation resemble a deer caught in the headlights. It was just out of the blue. But he had to get out of there
He saw
because
what was coming.
he saw it. And you have to take advantage of the opportunity put in front of you, which was a 5-year, $33 million contract with the Seahawks. Pete Carroll won a championship with the Seahawks. Should have won 2 if he'd handed that thing off to beast mode.
Yeah.
But with Pete Carroll, the way that he left, it still rubs people at USC the wrong way. He's still not as accepted as he should be coming back to USC. But the way that he left, it was like one of those, one of those people, it's about to happen.
Like AZ on Belly?
Or
Like
like Martha Stewart, when she pulled all that bread out. And she did that jail time. So it gets tricky, man. But I think the unloyal thing that was done was, do you expect Pete Carroll to stay there and ride it out through the sanctions? Hell no.
No, nobody does that.
Hell no.
But you gotta understand with Pete Carroll, he was at USC when it was. They was like the Lakers. They were like the Lakers. They were only like big time football team.
They were a big deal.
Yeah.
Like they recruited Joe McKnight.
Yeah.
From Louisiana.
Yeah.
To USC.
For sure.
Well, LSU was known for getting running backs.
Oh yeah.
How you get him to go to USC?
To play behind people too.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to be the number 1 person. Yeah. He ended up eventually being
Of course.
the number 1.
Right.
But that's the crazy thing, and we'll talk about with Nick Saban. How in the hell do you get a player like Najee Harris to come there knowing that you're not going to play until your junior year?
Right.
If you would have went to Florida State or if you'd have went to LSU, you would have played day 1.
Right.
How the hell does he get him to do that? That's a special talent.
It's some stuff going on in that couch when he talking. He just the electric slide. That's
Nick
what
got-
Nick
Nick
that
got
damn
that-
electric slide.
Nick got that damn electric slide. Who on to Brett Favre?
This was wild.
Now, throughout the 90s and the 2000s, Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers were a match made in heaven. Favre basically is the face of the franchise. Until they drafted Aaron Rodgers. Now, he did not accommodate Aaron Rodgers the way that he was supposed to be accommodated as a rookie, which happens. Yeah. Hard to do. If you're looking at your success right behind you, same thing happened to Tom Brady.
Right.
But he got Jimmy G out of there. And Brett Favre didn't have the power to do that.
Nah.
And in turn, the team couldn't deal with the offseason drama and shipped him to the Jets.
Right.
He did stint there, did the whole retirement song and dance, only to come back with the Vikings, the Packers' mortal enemy.
Yeah.
And
they put a price on his head.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
Money gate.
And it felt as if the Packer fans said, we can't see our number 4 in that purple.
Not for them.
Not for them. And it was something to watch because the way that the teams kind of adapted to Brett Favre, he was great with the Vikings. It was him, Sidney Rice. Who else was wide out on that team?
They got Randy Moss back 1 year.
They sure did get Moss back in 1 year. But is the disloyal nature, I think the Packers did him a disservice because he still had years to play.
Yeah, he just paid him back. He paid him back.
Just payback. But they had to play Aaron Rodgers, and we see.
So
yeah, it was a good decision.
I understand if I'm Brett Favre. I've been the man here for 7-8 years.
No, 10, 15.
10, 15 years.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're going to bring somebody, you want me to train them?
Yeah. Nah.
That's how I go though. In the league, like you know, those spots on the line every day.
Every day.
Not saying you got to accept it.
Big Ben don't, he ain't not going to.
Shit, he was mad when they signed. Who did they draft this year?
Yeah, he didn't even talk to the guy.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
He didn't even talk to him.
You're looking at your successor.
Yeah.
You don't want to help him.
You're looking at Father Time.
You're looking at Father Time right in front of you, for sure. Number 10, Nick Saban. Now, Saban was the head coach of the LSU Tigers for 5 seasons, bringing them a 2003 BCS title. He left the team in 2004 to take the vacant coaching position with the Miami Dolphins. And their fans felt betrayed because just 2 years ago, he was offered plenty of NFL jobs.
Right.
Totally turned them down.
Right.
But you get the Dolphins, and he goes and leaves there after winning the title.
Right.
So LSU was the first team that would be betrayed.
Right.
More than be the last, though. He went 9-7 his first year, narrowly missed the playoffs with the Dolphins. 2006 was the year that they were supposed to resurrect, looking like the Dolphins of old, right?
The Marino Dolphins.
This is where Saban fucked up. He had a chance to sign Drew Brees or Dante Culpepper. He decided to sign.
Get your roll.
Dante Culpepper.
That's what hurt him.
And that did it. Because Drew Brees threw damn near 40 touchdowns last year.
Yeah.
And Dante Culpepper just threw down 40
ounces.
40 ounces of a Corona last year, for sure. So Dante Culpepper was benched after 4 games in favor of Joey Harrison.
Joey Harrison again.
And Joey Harrison back in the fold. They ended up going 6-10. His first and only losing season as a coach.
Damn.
In 2006, Mike Shula was fired at Alabama.
Uh-oh.
In December 2006,
Yeah.
Saban, in front of SEC media, in front of NFL media, via me to the line, he said, listen, dog, I am not going to Alabama. Stop asking me about it. It's not anything that I want to do.
Right.
17 days later, he accepted the job, 8 years, $32 million. And the rest is history. Dude, 132-20. 5 conference titles, 5 national titles. That is insane.
You can't argue with that.
What Nick did, though, you gotta go Breeze instead of Culpepper.
Culpepper was getting this roll on. No.
What the hell Nick was thinking?
Is Nick Saban, is he better than Bear Bryant?
Yeah. Nick Saban is the best college coach we've seen.
Yeah, he better than Bear Bryant. He went one more, he'd be tied with Bear.
Mainly due to the fact of what Jeff said. He's standing in these living rooms and getting the number 1 player to come to his school every year, knowing that they're not going to play until their maybe third year. That's insane. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah. That's a task.
Dude, I don't know how he does it.
These players are used to being the guy.
Yeah.
Every level.
Every
Pop
level.
Warner, Little League to now, and then you want to go sit on somebody's bench for 2 years.
Then you get an OC, DC every year. They leave.
They get head jobs, head coaching jobs,
doing the same thing year after year. Last but not least, LeBron James takes his town to South Beach.
My boy. He's
Le-
just young, man.
LeBron brought a level of success to the Cavs I think no one will ever surpass. MVP awards, playoff trips, finals appearances, just been pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Now, the Cavs were officially eliminated from postseason Game 6 after LeBron had 27-19-10 against the, I think it was the Celtics.
Yeah, 7 games.
For sure. Now, he became an unrestricted free agent July 1st, 2010. And he had a choice. The Bulls, the Clippers, the Heat, the Knicks, the Nets,
Spurs,
and the Cavs, of course. On July 8th, he announced that he would be joining D-Wade, Chris Bosh, taking his talents to South Beach. And winning not 1,
not 2,
not 3,
not 4,
not 5.
this is a show, man. But that wasn't fun.
Because
That was terrible.
that was bad.
But the only thing
I
I hated about that part of it, that whole ceremony right there, Chris Bosh got none of that. it should have been some on him.
He didn't say nothing.
Yeah,
He was there.
He didn't say anything.
He was not LeBron James though. Chris Bosh is Kevin Love.
Even D Wade was looking at him a little bit like,
hey, brother, it's hard to win those, you know.
Pump your brakes.
Yeah. Now, upon learning that LeBron James would not be returning to Cleveland, Dan Gilbert published an open letter to fans in which he aggressively denounced James's action. As I quote, listen to this. As you know, our former hero, who grew up in the very region that he deserted, is no longer a Cleveland Cavalier. The good news is that the ownership staff will be working hard to bring you a championship. And so you won't be betrayed, nor you will never be betrayed by us. You simply don't deserve this kind of cowardly betrayal. Personally guarantee that the Cavs will win the NBA championship before the self-titled former king wins one. The self-declared former king will be taking the curse with him down south. And until he does right by Cleveland and Ohio, LeBron James will unfortunately be dreaded with bad karma. Just watch. Sleep well, Cleveland. Tomorrow is a brighter day.
That letter didn't age well at all.
And that is the reason that LeBron James is no longer in Cleveland now.
But he came back, won him a chip.
Came back,
made everything right.
Yeah.
He stayed a couple of years. I thought he was going to stay.
Yeah.
The hell about it.
Shout out to Dan Gilbert, the owner of Fat. He'd make them posters $2 a piece. When
Yeah, for sure. He was pissed. This is the thing about Dan Gilbert. I don't know how you sit and say all of that in Comic Sans and then beg for him to come back to win that same championship with open arms. Yeah. That you guaranteed that y'all would win when he left. That was the first time I saw him. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they were going to win before Miami, yeah.
That was the first time I seen somebody's jersey be burned. Have you guys seen that before?
Before then, no.
I've never seen that. That was my first time seeing it.
I remember I had just got on Twitter. Because what year was that again? That was
2011. Yeah.
I just started Twitter.
What, 2010?
2010.
2010.
Yeah. And that was one of the first Twitter moments I remember. Like, God, and it just exploded. Like, soon as the decision went off the air, jerseys everywhere, burned, fans, F him, this, that, and the third.
They were pissed.
Oh, my God.
They were pissed.
I just wondered if LeBron James just tell our book that he's going to write out his career.
Oh, yeah, no.
Is he going to apologize?
Oh, it ain't no apology.
Decision.
No. He brought her back a championship.
I don't think...
He looked the wrong way.
Well, the decision, you know what? You might be right. The decision, the TV show,
He already apologized.
He might go a little more in depth about what it was.
Yeah. I need to know what Dan Gilbert how did that first meeting when he came back to Cleveland.
When he said, "Look, I want to play for y'all."
Yeah,
and make it happen. Like you know, LeBron came to him.
Yeah. But he didn't speak to
hate
him.
each other.
That was just. I don't think LeBron even spoke to him.
I don't think they ever really spoke.
Nah, that was all.
Ever.
That was
I'm talking about like they hate him.
Yeah,
they hate him.
That was all your boy. What's his agent?
Mav.
Yeah.
No, that's his business partner. Mav. He's my Rich Paul. Yeah, for sure. Now that is a list of betrayals happening in sports, man. Let's know if we forgot any. What's the worst out of all of those?
I thought we forgot one.
What's that?
Remember Titan Steve McNair?
That was local heat. That was local hurt.
Yeah.
We love Steve McNair, dog. Yeah.
They locked him out.
Yeah, they locked him out. They locked him out.
Man, that was tough. He could work out.
Yeah, they like Vince Young.
Yeah, Vince Young got this.
Vince Young should have been locked out.
Wow, man, come on.
Vince Young was rough.
Yeah.
He was dirty.
That was Jeff Fisher. Man.
Jeff Fisher is trash.
You know, Jeff Fisher still wants to coach, man.
Yeah, Jeff Fisher will never coach in the NFL again. Ever.
He about to get a job as an analyst somewhere.
Yeah,
he still want to coach.
He would never coach in the NFL again. I guarantee it.
The fact that if he gets another job,
I mean, Bob Petrino got another job.
I think our NFL team will give him one more shot.
Nah, not the way that he
Buffalo
had.
Bills.
Not the way that he had your quarterback looking.
And then Jared Goff comes and do what he did.
Dude, the way he had Jared Goff looking, he'll never coach again. You can't be that off. Yeah. Like you can't.
It can't look.
Yeah,
it can't be that extreme to the next. In 1 year, like
he'll never coach again. Yeah, he'll never coach again.
Nate.
That's all. Yeah, it's very mediocre. Weezy, do you have in case you missed it?
Yeah, in case you missed it.
Yeah.
This week is Jarrell Casey, man, who said he will protest every game and pay the fine.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Tell Jarrell Casey, shout out to a Titan.
Mm-hmm.
He better chill out.
Yeah, he just signed his last contract.
Yeah, that'll be it.
Wrong city for that. I feel you.
Wrong city.
Wrong city for that.
You do that in Atlanta.
You good.
You do that in
Seattle, old school Seattle.
Yeah,
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
You do
Carolina.
DC.
Yeah, DC.
You really can't do that in Carolina.
Yeah.
The DC for sure. You can do it in LA.
Yeah.
You can do it in Texas if you play for the Cowboys.
Yeah. Just wrong city. Tennessee, wrong city for that.
Wrong city for that. Drill. He good too.
Yeah.
Pro Bowl.
We gotta protect you, man.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
It's rough on them.
They might be
I'm a holler at him.
because
I'm a holler at him.
even the newscasters,
Yeah.
they did polls about
Yeah,
it.
they don't like that. The people don't like that. Yeah, Drill.
This is the same city that got mad at Cam Newton
Yeah,
for dabbing in the end zone.
for sure. You mean to tell me Drill?
You gonna protest the national anthem?
Drill.
And you be careful out there, Mr. Casey.
Yeah, for sure. Most
Hey,
definitely.
and Leonard Ball scored 48 points again.
Yeah, for sure.
And
And
54 shots.
playing against Jeff nephew. For sure. Tweet us with questions throughout the week at Full Sport Press. Don't forget to comment, give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the YouTube page. On the iTunes page, please rate and subscribe. But more importantly, don't forget to tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
So, friend, we got cups, baby.
To tell a friend, we got cups. Most definitely let us know. We'll post those any and everywhere. Give you those. Maybe give a giveaway.
Triple
stuff.
cup Weezy.
A triple cup Weezy.
Triple cup Weezy,
Most
baby.
definitely. Weezy.
Everything paid for, big baby.
Jeff.
Camera's always on, brother.
It's the Full Sport Press Podcast.
Oh, yeah.
We are out. The revolution will be podcast.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Thank you for listening to the Full Sport Press podcast. To catch up on prior episodes, visit the SoundCloud page. And don't forget to tell a friend to tell a friend.